So let's bring in News Nation's national security contributor, former CIA officer, former FBI special agent, Tracy Walder. It's good to have you. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, Chris.
So this never happens here. What does that mean? Does that mean that somebody found it as a new hunting ground? Or does it mean you have to look specifically at this person and their life because it's not a high crime area?
So what that means to me is that this is not a high crime area. The area that this occurred in is very much a suburban area. I don't want to say rural in that it is inhabited. This is a very well-used trail. Also, you have a case of a teacher with 5 children who has also gone missing from a park, not that far away from here. And so you kind of have to wonder if some of this is connected and if maybe this was someone who knew these people and who knew the routes that they took. It's my understanding that Rachel really ran this trail all the time and was a regular fixture there.
You make 2 great points. Which I would steal for myself, but you're on the show, so it would be a little awkward. The first one is you need to know, do they see signs of sexual assault? Because that is an indicator of familiarity. How so?
So the interesting thing about that is we first have to think about murders in general, and the FBI has released some statistics about this. Less than 10% of murders are actually committed by strangers, and 76% of females who are murdered by someone they know. That's an incredibly high statistic. And so if we look at something like this versus a case of Eliza Fletcher, another jogger who went running about a year ago, she was sexually assaulted and she was ultimately killed by someone who did not know her. Typically in crimes that occur, where we have the killer knew the person, we don't typically see sexual assault in those cases. I don't want to say that that happens all the time, but typically we don't see that happening.
That's interesting. And then, so if they do find that there was an assault of that nature, it does open up. Now you're comparing it to that other case. Are they going to look at the boyfriend for both of them? That would be a little bit of a leap. That takes us to the second point. You're saying that they may not be talking about who's a suspect, who isn't, but you're saying that the boyfriend is in their sights no matter what they say. Why?
I think the boyfriend is in their sights no matter what, because typically when we conduct an investigation, even at the FBI, we start from the inside and work our way out. Those that were closest to the victim, those that would know the victim's habits, those that reported the victim missing, those that found the victim. Really, that is how you start any investigation. And so Mr. Toobin has to know that he really is suspect number 1 right now. And I don't think that it's necessarily a bad idea that police have not publicly cleared him.
The criminal past, doesn't it matter what the past is? And he seemed to suggest that it was addiction related because he said that I have 15 months clean. Assault, well, it's of who and why. The restraining order, was it stalking or was it about staying away from some family member? Malicious destruction of property, again, is that about, trying to get back at somebody? You'd have to know more, right?
I believe you would have to know more. Look, I don't believe that his past is purely drug addiction. He clearly has convictions for a second-degree assault, destruction of property, and those are inherently violent. However, a second-degree assault, which could be, as simple as shoving or pushing someone and then that ending up into an injury and then escalating into a brutal murder, I mean, that is an escalation, but I don't think it completely absolves him of guilt.
Could be a drunk guy in a bar who breaks a pool cue and swings it and hits somebody. Got your malicious destruction of property, you got your assault right there. Then he was said to stay away from the person and he went after him a second time. We'll have to know the full story. But Tracy Walder, the most important thing for the audience is to know the questions that the authorities are asking. And you did that. So thank you very, very much. Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.